I was given one wish to change my life. I chose carefully. I wished for something meaningful, something I thought was profound, and it was the single biggest mistake I have ever made. It left me with everything I thought I wanted and an emptiness I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. To really get why, we have to go back to the beginning, back to a life that felt like it was being lived in grayscale. Before the lamp, before the impossible choice, there was just me, Leo. And my life wasn't bad, not really. That was the problem. It wasn't bad enough to burn it all down, but it wasn't good enough to feel like I was actually living. It was the beige of existence, the lukewarm water of a life half lived. I'm a graphic designer. If you'd asked me 10 years ago, I would have said that with pride. I used to dream of creating art that mattered, of designing logos that became iconic, of shaping the look of brands I genuinely admired. Now I design flyers for mattress companies and tweak the font on menus for restaurants that I know will be out of business in 6 months. The passion had curdled into just being proficient. The spark was gone, replaced by a system. I was good at my job, reliable, and every single morning I'd wake up with this quiet, nagging whisper in my gut that asked, "Is this it?" My life felt like a museum of missed opportunities, a gallery of almosts. I almost took that big art scholarship, but I listened to everyone telling me I'd be a starving artist. I almost moved across the country with my best friend after college, but I had a stable job offer, and I chose security over adventure. I almost told the woman I was sure was the love of my life how I felt, but I hesitated for just a second too long and the moment was gone. Forever. None of these were huge, dramatic failures. They were just small, sensible decisions. Safe choices. But after 30 years, all those safe choices had added up, building a comfortable, well-furnished prison around me. My world was the four walls of my apartment and the glowing rectangle of my computer screen. Evenings were the worst. I'd just scroll through the curated lives of old friends, see their travel photos, their families, their creative wins. I knew it was a highlight reel, not the whole story, but my life didn't even have enough highlights to cut together a decent trailer. Their lives looked like they were shot in vibrant Technicolor. Mine felt like a forgotten black and white film, grainy and silent, just gathering dust on a shelf. And the core of it all wasn't jealousy. It was a regret, a deep, corrosive regret that stained every single memory. I'd look back at all the branching paths of my past and feel with total certainty that I had taken the wrong turn every single time. I was haunted by the ghost of the man I could have been, the artist, the adventurer, the husband. He was this phantom standing next to me, a constant reminder of my own cowardice. I didn't want $1 million. I wanted a time machine. I wanted a second chance. But what I really truly wanted deep down was to just skip to the good part. To have the life I was supposed to have without the terrifying work of actually building it. I wanted the reward without the risk. I just didn't know it yet. The change didn't show up with a lightning strike. It showed up with the smell of dust and mothballs. My grandfather had passed away, and the last job was to clear out his attic, a task I was dreading. His attic wasn't just for storage. It was a museum of his life. Old naval uniforms, letters in his elegant handwriting, forgotten woodworking projects. It was a testament to a life lived on purpose, without all the hesitation that had defined mine. It felt like an accusation. I was up there for hours, dust motes dancing in the one beam of light from a grimy window. I was sorting through a trunk of old tools when my hand brushed against something that didn't belong. It wasn't some glittering, jewel-encrusted lamp out of a fairy tale. It was small and heavy, like a teapot made of a dark, tarnished metal that just seemed to soak up the light. Honestly, it looked more like an old oil can than some magical artifact, dented, grimy, and totally unremarkable, but I couldn't put it down. It was warm. A strange, faint warmth radiated from it. Curiosity, the one emotion apathy hadn't killed yet, got the better of me. I took the corner of my t-shirt and rubbed at the grime, trying to see if there was a maker's mark or something. There was no puff of smoke, no big explosion. The air just thickened. The dust motes dancing in the light froze. The silence in the attic suddenly had weight to it, pressing in on me. A shape started to form across from me, but it wasn't made of smoke. It was made of shadows. It was humanoid, but its edges were blurry and indistinct, like looking at a figure through a heat haze. It didn't really have a face, just the impression of ancient, tired eyes that looked right through me. Its voice wasn't loud, it was quiet and raspy like sand on stone, and it seemed to speak right inside my head. "You have roused me," it said, the words ancient and flat. My obligation is to the one who holds the vessel. I can alter the fabric of your reality. I can grant you one wish, only one. I just stared, my heart hammering against my ribs. This wasn't real, it was a stress dream, but the weight of the lamp in my hand felt real. The heavy silence felt real. The being seemed to sense my disbelief. This is not a negotiation. There are no tricks in my words. Think. Choose what you believe with all your heart will grant you peace. When you have decided, speak it aloud. And just like that, the air went back to normal. The dust started dancing again. But the being didn't disappear entirely. It was still there, a shimmering distortion in the corner of my eye.